In this activity, players are learning how to receive, and then they go on to play 1v1 against a defender. So it's a nice simple setup. We've got two blue players who start off as the attackers and two red players who start off as the defenders. To begin the activity, the player with the ball number 8 passes to their teammate, the number 10. The teammate has to receive the ball and then attack the red number 5 player. To score a goal, the number 10 just has to dribble over the end line. The red defender, number 5, is locked into their end zone. So as you see here, the 10 receives the ball, turns and attacks the red number 5 player. Once they get past them, if successful, we then swap over. So 10 passes into 8, and 8 turns and has to play 1v1 against number 4 to try and score a goal. If the defender does win the ball, what would happen then is that the defenders and the attackers would swap roles. So the number 4 and the number 5 red would come on the inner lines, and they would pass to each other, turn, and then try to outplay against the blue defenders. So it's a really simple setup, but it's a really effective drill to help get over some key points in terms of how to receive, and it also gives the opportunity then for players to practice their 1v1 outplaying techniques. In this activity, the key coaching points are all focused on the player receiving the ball, and we're going to be coaching the ABCD of receiving. So they are A is angle, B, body shape and back foot, C is check, and D is distance. We're going to ask that the receiver starts off in this position here where they're directly in front of the person with the ball, they're receiving with their back to goal. Not an ideal position to be in, so we then go to the ABCDs of receiving, the first one being angle. So we want this player here to first of all create an angle from the person they are receiving the ball from. So moving out to the side here, so they are now diagonally positioned away from the person with the ball rather than being straight in front of them. In this position here, we can see that they've still got their back to goal, back to the way that they want to face. So B is all about body shape. So we want them to turn their body so that they're in a position to play forward when they receive that ball. They're in a position where they can see where the ball is coming from, and they can also see where they are going to. Once in that position, we want to encourage the players to take their first touch forward and to use their back foot, the furthest foot away from the passer, to do that first touch. As the ball is travelling across, we're going to encourage our players to check, and what that means is we want them to have a look around and see if the defender has made a movement, see where the defender is positioned, to be able to identify where the space is to attack past that defender. And then finally, D is distance. And what we're going to ask the players to focus on there is just to make sure that, which you see a lot with younger players, is that they don't come too close to the passer when asking for a pass. They want to give a good distance there from the passer. And likewise, we don't want them to be too far away or too close to the defender when they're receiving. So a position like this, whereas if they were to take their first touch here, the defender would be in a good position to win that ball back quickly. So A, B, C, D are going to be the key coaching points, making sure that the player receiving creates a good angle to receive, turns their body so they've got a good body shape and take that first touch on the back foot. Check to see if the defender has moved, to see where the defender's position is, to see where the space is to attack, and to also make sure that there is a good distance between the passer and the receiver receiving the ball, so they're in a good position to attack.